But we start this hour with Jordan Henderson, who has broken his silence on his move to Saudi Arabia and has responded to fierce criticism from LGBTQ+ groups. Speaking to The Athletic, Henderson says he understands the criticism, but believes it's a positive thing that he is playing in Saudi Arabia, where homosexuality is illegal. Earlier this afternoon, Henderson trained with the rest of the England squad. He kept his place in the group, despite his move to the Saudi Pro League. Well, let's get much more on this interview from Henderson. Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solhekol, is with me in the studio. Good afternoon to you, Kaveh. I mean, it's more than a month now since he left Liverpool for the Saudi Pro League. So why is he giving this interview now?
I think the first reason is that he's back in England. He wouldn't be able to give this kind of interview in Saudi Arabia. I don't think journalists there would be able to ask him the kind of questions that David Ornstein and Adam Crafton have asked him. Also, the timing of it, of course, is very, very interesting because his selection in the England squad has been very controversial. We saw last week Gareth Southgate was a little bit uncomfortable when he was asked about it. So this is something that Jordan Henderson needed to address. And I think by doing it in this way, he can maybe turn around now and say, look, during this England camp, don't ask me these kind of questions again because I've already dealt with it. I've got nothing further to add. I would also say that if I was one of the England reporters covering England, I have covered England in the past, I would be a little bit disappointed because I would be thinking, why have you spoken to The Athletic? You're on England duty. Why have you not been put up at an England news conference where there is people from all broadcasters and all newspapers who would have a chance to ask you questions? Having said that, England may well put him up in the next few days. I'm not sure.
So many strands to the interview he gave. So let's start with Liverpool and why he left Liverpool. What were the reasons?
This is what's interesting from a football perspective because he basically says that he sat down with Jurgen Klopp during the summer and the feeling that he got is that Jurgen Klopp was telling him that, look, you're not going to get as many opportunities to play as you have in the past. We will be signing some new midfielders, so maybe now is a good opportunity for you to look elsewhere. And I think he made the point that he would have stayed at Liverpool if he felt like Liverpool wanted him to stay. He says that if Liverpool had said stay, then he would have stayed.
We know he's been a vocal ally for the LGBTQ+ community. I think back to the World Cup in Qatar as one example. What's he said in this interview to members of the community who feel let down by the fact he's moved to Saudi Arabia?
Well, he's apologised, but it is a little bit of a qualified apology because he's basically said, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. But he goes on to say that his own values have not changed, his own beliefs have not changed. And he said having someone with those views and values in Saudi Arabia is only a positive thing. And he was asked some very, very specific questions by Adam Crafton of The Athletic, who said to him, what about rainbow laces? For instance, you were one of the first Premier League players to wear rainbow laces. Are you going to be wearing rainbow laces in Saudi Arabia, where gays are persecuted, where homosexuality is against the law? And Jordan Henderson said that he would wear rainbow laces if it didn't offend anyone. And he said a couple of times that he wanted to respect the religion and culture in Saudi Arabia. And again, Adam Crafton made the point that he's heard a lot of people talk about respecting culture, whereas if you are gay, it's not to do with culture. That is who you are. That is your identity. It is not a choice. So I thought that was a very good point as well. And he was also put on the spot about, if you remember, when he signed for Al-Ettifaq, they released a video. And the images of Jordan Henderson wearing a rainbow armband were greyed out, so you couldn't see the rainbow colours. And Jordan Henderson said that is not something that he was part of. He didn't know that that was going to happen.
Lastly, financial matters. Premier League footballers earn a lot of money. I remember when he made the move, there was talk of eye-watering amounts of money that he was going to be earning in Saudi Arabia. How's he responded to criticism that he's just gone there for the cash?
Well, he said that's not the case. I know a lot of people on social media have been basically rolling their eyes and saying, get real, Jordan, you know. What are you talking about? But he was asked again a straight question, is it true that you're earning £700,000 a week in Saudi Arabia? He said, no, that is not the case. Our information is that he earns closer to about £350,000 a week tax-free. And driving into work today, I was listening to the radio, and the reaction to Jordan Henderson saying that he's gone to Saudi Arabia to help grow the game in Saudi Arabia and put Saudi Arabia on the map, on the football map, I have to say the reaction on social media and from what I heard on the radio is very, very mixed. And not a lot of people are buying what Jordan Henderson is saying in that respect.
OK, for now, Kaveh, thanks very much indeed.